Hello and welcome to our last video of 2022. Today is Friday, December 30th, 2022. And if I look a little like a wet chicken, a little under the weather, it's because my daughters convinced me to go out last night to see a band called the Chainsmokers. Now, if you're not familiar with the Chainsmokers, they're what's called electronic dance music, EDM. So we were at this place that was packed with all these 30 and unders, wall to wall people, and the music is boom, 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 boom. Stayed there till 3 o'clock in the morning. When we left there, we were all starving. And so we went and had pepperoni pizza. So right now I have the world's worst case of heartburn. It's like, I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, here I am on the job for you. So let's talk about, since it is the last show of the year, we're not going to do a retrospective. 2022 was awful. We don't need to go back and review that. Let's look at 2023 and let's talk about what we see going forward. So first of all, there are five, I'll call them optimistic viewpoints that the bulls, the people that think that the stock market next year is going to hit new highs, that they're hanging their hat on. And you could say that the reverse is also true, which is that the bears, the people that think we're going to see new lows in the market, could say those same five things are not going to happen. So let's review all five of them, and you can make up your own mind as to whether you think they're going to happen or not. So the first one is that there's this expectation that inflation is going to reach what the Federal Reserve wants, which is 2% by the end of 2023. If it does, then the Fed has won the battle. Jerome Powell and his team are our heroes. The economy is great. Inflation's under control, and all is well. If that happens, we could see the stock market see new all-time highs. However, so far, we thought inflation, remember the word transitory? I was telling you a year ago that we're going to hear that word a lot, and we did. It's like every day, transitory. Well, it turns out not to be transitory. It turned out to be quite entrenched. And now, not only that, but it's actually lasted longer than people thought. So we're very dubious that by the second half of next year, inflation is going to be brought to heel, under control. The Fed's our hero. We'll see. If that does not happen, then the Fed will have to be more aggressive than is currently anticipated. And if that happens, we could see bad things in the stock market. So it could go either way. Time will tell. The second thing is China. So there's this expectation now that China is going to get their act together. Okay, they are like, with supply chain issues, and now they've opened up again and they're not restricting everybody. So COVID is ravaging their country. I saw a report that said they've got like 5,000 people a day being hospitalized. Their healthcare system almost can't handle that. And if they're busy dealing with that, they're not producing stuff. The supply chain is clogged up. That's inflationary, more work for the Fed, bad news for the economy and the stock market. However, if they get their act together, then everything will be fantastic on that front, won't it? So what do you think? You think they'll be able to in the next few months? We don't. The next thing is that the war in Ukraine will be resolved. Yeah, Putin and Zelensky will have a big meeting. They'll negotiate it out, and everybody will be friends. And all of a sudden, grain exports will be flowing out of Ukraine and oil and gas out of Russia. And we'll see the energy prices come down, food prices come down, and everything will be wonderful. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case to us, but we'll see. Right now, Putin is talking about he wants to negotiate, and meanwhile, he's like sending thousands of missiles all over the place. So, it's hard to tell what's going to happen there. So that's the other one. If war in Ukraine is resolved, that would be a very positive thing. We believe would be very well received by the market. But if it's not, then we continue to have this inflationary pressure. We continue to have high prices in food, et cetera, et cetera. Now, the other thing is one that's kind of interesting and maybe not in the I'll say in the conversation, and that is the emerging market countries. This is Southeast Asia, Latin America. These are the smaller economies in the world. They depend very much on the US economy and the US dollar. So because of all this stuff, the dollar has become very, very strong. It's gone up relative to their currencies. What this means to them is that doing business with us has become more expensive. In other words, their value has gone down and the dollar's gone up. and that makes their cost of money, they do business in dollars, to go up extremely high. That's very bad for their economies, and that's the global economy. And there's hundreds of millions of people that affects, and their economies are in the doldrums. And so the dollar is going to weaken, and the emerging market countries are going to come through strong because of that next year. If that happens, that's a very good thing. However, again, it may not. And if it doesn't, then we're going to continue to see some issues and potentially some defaults in the banking systems in those countries. We've already seen it this year with several countries happen already. The last one of the 5 is COVID. And the optimists are saying that COVID, by the end of next year, will be behind us. Essentially, it'll be the annual flu, and it'll be under control. That one, I think, is we look at, and potentially that's true, but it seems like there's always a new strain that comes out, and it seems to be more virulent. Plus, with China opening up, and their people are all wanting to get out of China and travel, they may be spreading another wave of COVID around the world. And if that happens, then maybe COVID is not under control. So those are the 5 things that the optimists believe, if they happen, would be great for the stock market next year. And the pessimists could say on the other side of that, none of those things are going to happen. Or if even 3 of the 5 don't happen, then we got a really bad 2023. So what do we think is going to happen? We don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. All we know is that right now, the risk that those things don't happen is enough to make us not want to go back into the market. So that's why we are sitting it out right now. The Federal Reserve is raising interest rates. We're in the money market fund. We're getting paid to be safe. I just don't know why anybody would argue with that. So if you're over 50, if you are retiring soon, if you're within 5 years of your retirement, or you're within the first 5 years of your retirement, that decade, we believe, is the single most important decade of your entire financial life. And it's not something you should take lightly. We believe you should talk with a professional about the decisions you're making right now. Not the least of which is protecting what you've got, but also on Social Security, Medicare, retirement, 401ks, income taxes, all that kind of stuff. So if you go to our website, it's rpoa.com. And when you're there, click on Meet with an Advisor. We'll visit with you, no charge or obligation. And if we can help you, that's fantastic. And if not, that's fine too. Either way, no charge, no obligation, and we will part friends. Okay, so our website again is rpoa.com. Share this video with as many of your friends, business associates as you can. We want to help as many people as possible. So again, thank you for watching this video. Be careful, be safe. Happy New Year, and we'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.